For most of history, and throughout most of the world, people were ruled by royal houses. Wealth was based on agriculture, and stories and myths explained how the universe worked. But by the end of the 19th century, many changes had taken place in the world. Science, based on observation and experimentation, became the established method for explaining the world. In many countries, the system of government changed. The development of factories made the production of goods faster and cheaper. Cities began to grow as many people moved from the countryside to work in these factories. These drastic shifts are called revolutions, and they would change the world forever, sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. Artists felt that this new, modern world needed a new approach to art. Physicist Albert Einstein had shown that the universe did not always operate according to observation. Artists became interested in trying to show the world as it was, not as it looked. This meant that artists began trying to find innovative ways to express emotions, spirituality, or new artistic theories. If they wanted to get away from showing how things looked, it made sense to make art that didn't look like anything people had seen before. So abstraction was born. Konstantin Brancusi's sculpture, Bird in Space, is a good example of how abstraction was used to express these other aspects of reality. Clearly, this sculpture doesn't look anything like a bird. Instead, Brancusi is trying to capture the energy and spirit of flight. He uses this abstract form to try and embody that energy. Some people are confused by abstract art. Let's look at 5 different sculptors that use abstraction and see if we can begin to understand how abstraction helped them realize their artistic vision. At only 29 years old, Nancy Graves became the youngest artist ever to be given a solo exhibition at the Whitney Museum of American Art. Graves' early work was more representational, but she gradually moved towards abstraction. Her abstract sculptures used found objects that she would cast into polychrome or bronze. Her work incorporates color in an expressive and playful way. She uses abstraction to express whimsy and wonder. Chinese artist Liu Yonggang began his career as a painter, studying art in China and Germany. At the end of the 1990s, he began work on a series of sculptures he called Embrace of Love. These sculptures combined traditional Chinese characters engaged in tender poses. Liu wanted his sculptures to attract people with their beauty. These sculptures are often placed in public places so many people can see and interact with them. Born in Mumbai, Indian sculptor Anish Kapoor moved to London to study art, and he's lived and worked there ever since. Many of Kapoor's sculptures are made from reflective materials, which causes the surrounding environment to become part of the artwork too. As an artist, Kapoor is interested in exploring contrasts, like earth and sky, or matter and spirit. Martin Puryear is very interested in traditional craftsmanship, especially when working with wood, which has become his primary material. The subtle curves and unique shapes that take much planning and good technique to make. Puryear makes use of abstract organic shapes, which often explore the idea of inside and outside, weightiness, and balance. Although her parents were from Japan, Ruth Asawa was born in California and is considered an American sculptor. She wanted to become a teacher, but at the time in America, there was much discrimination against Japanese Americans due to World War II, and she could not complete her university studies. Instead, she went to art school. She had learned a technique of crocheting wire from basket makers in Mexico, and liked how wire would create line, shape, and space all at the same time. The open nature of her sculptures meant that the shadows they cast also became part of the work. By its nature, sculpture deals with 3-dimensional space. These 5 artists use different materials in their artworks, but each employs abstraction to explore the ideas about form and space that interest them most.